welcome to the Gen Z Manifesto. Hapa kazi yetu huwa kuongea itutoke. Now today, the 12th of August 2025, ni International Youth Day. A day when the world acknowledges the very important role that my youth wanna play as agents of change, leadership, and mobilizers in promoting development. And what other show in Kenya screams youth and change more than the Gen Z Manifesto right here on K24 and Kameme TV? And with that, tonight with me, Ms. Kahiro, we ask a very vital question that is in the minds of most Kenyans. Are Gen Zs truly ready and equipped for those leadership roles in government? Tuko tayari kweli? And will they use that power that comes with those seats to do good for the people? Tumeona wengi wakitan kuwa vigeugeu once elected. So what will set the Gen Zs apart? Again, the main question tonight is, Gen Zs wako ready for those leadership roles? Please feel free to indulge us on our WhatsApp number and we'll be reading your feedback as the show goes on. Leo pia, tumepeleka show wapi? Live all the way to Homa Bay, where Majibu Kwa Ground will be having a conversation with the youth there in a few. But meanwhile, in studio, I'm joined by Kags with the stats and the lovely, lovely Linda. Hi, Linda.
To you, Miss K, and happy International Youth Day.
Happy International Youth Day to
and
you
know,
too.
It's coinciding with our show, which is amazing. It's a sign, right?
It is.
So, when you talk about leadership and whether Gen Zs are ready to take up leadership roles, there are many things that surrounds that. Strides made in regards to youth involvement in leadership positions, their position, what is their position, what are they saying in terms of their involvement in leadership, and what are the challenges, because remember, Kenya has recorded the biggest number of youth in the country. Right. So there's a lot to talk about, including how the government is responding to youth problems.
Right. Yeah. Amazing. And speaking of the government, we launch kitu fulani very, very enticing today, and we'll talk about it in a few. Kagina with the stats. Hi.
Kwani huna form?
Kuna form. Sasa hiyo ni joke. Most we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
You will get it. Don't forget about it. So, in the Bible, a story is told of a man who was busy getting logs or other specks out of the eyes of other people. And inside their own eye kulikuwa na logs.
A bigger log.
So tonight, to focus kwa Gen Z sasa. Enough of questioning people out there and their styles of leadership. Now back to Gen Z. Sisi wenyewe, are we ready for those leadership positions? Do we have what it takes? Ama hatuna form?
All right. Kags, sijui tukubadilisha from Kags with the stats to Kags with the Bible.
Takuja na kola.
This is not the first time you have quoted for us the Bible, and I love it. Anyway, for now, let's get to hear from Majibu. Ako Homa Bay, in the area Homa Bay, speaking to the youth Kwa Ground pale. Majibu, my G, how are you?
Another Tuesday at the Gen Z Manifesto. We are coming to you live from Homa Bay. Hey, Homa Bay. Kumbuka, the Devolution Conference will happen kesho. The president will be opening it officially kuanzia kesho hapa Homa Bay. Na before prezo na official launch, majenzi wa Homa Bay wakasema hapana. Before you launch a Devolution Conference, they must be seen, they must be heard. Ama ni aje? Na siwasikii ama ni aje? Washasema lakini haijawatoka bado. So kumbuka kwamba leo pia ni International Youth Day, na pia kwa hii conference youth itakuwa one of the agendas is discussed. Mambo ya inclusivity, vijana walikuwa wanalia sana, wako included kwa hiyo decision making table, na leo tutakuwa wananiambia, leo tunawauliza Gen Z, are you ready for leadership? Mko ready ama hapana? Wacha tuanze kuongea. Nianze wapi? Ladies first. Wanakuita nani, halafu pia uniambie Gen Z sahi, are you ready for leadership?
Okay, I'm Shawin Bianca, and Yes, of course I'm ready for leadership.
Sasa wakisema sasa naomba mic yako iko off lakini nakusotu sasa. Wacha nikuja kwako kiongozi. Wanakuita nani alafu pia wewe sasa wakisema bro tunakupatia OCS kesho pale treasury enda control. Utaenda unawezana?
Ndio nawezana.
Aje niambie mbona?
Jina langu ni Francis Okinyi kutoka hapa Homa Bay, kijana wa Homa Bay. Kwa sababu kitu cha kwanza ni kuwa tumeandaliwa vyema. Mikakati sisi kama vijana tumeisha soma, tunaelewa mambo ambayo ya kufanya kwenye uongozi, na tukipewa nafasi hizo najua kwamba tuta-deliver, and we are going to deliver because we have the skills, we have the expertise, and also the experience. We have it because we've been in this country. We are not
Wana experience ni ya 5 years au kuna experience ya miaka ngapi?
Experience ya kwanza ni the fact kwamba nimezaliwa Kenya, mimi ni Mkenya. And that is the right experience. Hakuna experience ambayo inashinda hiyo. Alafu we have gone through this system kuanzia basic education mpaka tumefika tertiary education. The skills we have them. So the youth must be given a time. Ama ni aje?
Haya ndo sijui kama mic yako iko fit sasa kama unaweza rudia tena jina yako nani alafu pia uniambie pia wewe uko ready?
Yeah, I'm Shaun Bianca and I'm ready for leadership. Yes.
Mbona feel uko ready? Gen Z mnasema wengine wamekuwa wakiwa doubt.
Why doubters? Like, of course you have the experience, and in this country, like, we also see what is happening. We are not young to see whatever is going on. Like, we can reason for whatever is going on in this country.
Unasema kuishi Kenya kama hiyo ni experience enough.
Exactly.
Haya, wacha nikujie side nyingine. Leo nakwambia ni full house. Wacha nianze wapi? Hapo nyuma. Kiongozi anakuitana alafu pia Gen Z, do you think they are ready to take up these leadership positions? Naomba usimame tukuone.
Asante sana kwa majina, naitwa Michael Kojo Otieno ama aka the people shall ama the people may. Watu wengi huwa wanijui. Wanatumia sura yangu. Majezi wanatumia sura yangu lakini hawajawahi niona. Leo ndio wananiona live. Huko ndio home. Hapa ndio place.
The people shall.
The people shall mandatory. Hata ukiangalia Devolution Conference wamesema Devolution Conference for the people. Wananchi. Alafu ni for prosperity. Si prosperity kwanza. Ni the people kwanza. The people. Na hiyo ndio nilikuwa naambia ma MPs. Ati wasifikirie eti kama umechaguliwa eti wewe ni MP, ati sasa wewe unajiona eti wewe ni sagodi mwingine eti watu wakuje wakuabudu. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Wewe raia, wewe ndio uko na hiyo haki. Wewe ndio uko na hiyo hatimiliki. Huyu jamaa kazi yake wewe ndio unamlipa pesa. Hata entertainment hakuna pesa yenye anakuletea kwa grao. Sisi ndio tuko na hiyo power, sio hao. Hao wanatekeleza tu.
Nikikuja story ya pia youth na leadership, pia ni historia ni Gen Z's may ama ni shall?
Ni shall, ni lazima juu sisi ndio majority. Sisi ndio wa kuamua, sisi ndio tumesoma. Hakuna maneno ya kubeba chuma na nini enda upeleke hizo kwa wrestling. Hapa saa hizi watu wameenda AI na watu wameenda artificial intelligence, watu wanatumia tarakilishi na computer. Imagine majamaa, mtu amesoma physics, mtu amesoma chemistry, mtu amesoma bio. Ati wewe bado unataka kumkujia na chuma eti. Hakuna, watu wanasonga. Amerika ukiona watu ni D2. Ndio watu wanachapana kwa mahewa. Hakuna kitu kingine.
Hapa sisi tunaongea inakutoka. Ukisema mambo ya machuma si unasema hiyo mambo ya affordable housing?
Hapana, nasema machuma. Unajua huwa kuna majamaa ambao wanapatiwa ngatini week lifters. Ati ukitaka kutoa maoni ati wewe sasa upigwe. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo.
Wazi. Haya nakuja kwako ina few. Acha nikuje side nyingine pia nakwambia leo ni full house. Kiongozi unasemaje? Wanakuita nani kwanza?
With my name is Wycliffe Mondugeza from Soba South Sub-County. I'm championing for the youth for change. Because for one, I want to convince our youths that we've lacked representations. Because our leaders, after electing them, they go and fight for their positions and for their children or maybe for their stomach. But how about us? By the end of the 5 years, they come back to us, convince us with some tokens, elect them back to the positions, then it is business as usual. So I want to call upon our youths that the time is now. We have to fight for our positions in government.
Haya, wacha nikuje kwa baby girl pia hapa naona leo tena mambo ya agenda mmeamua kucontrol. Pia nikuje kwako, one of the key agendas ama theme ya hii conference ni inclusivity. Do you think wewe kama youth wa Homa Bay uko include kwa hiyo decision making table?
Okay, by the name I'm Linet Otieno. I'm here to air my views as agency of Homa Bay County. First, the very moment tutakuwa na inclusivity in the government, that would be the end of our problem in this country as the youths.
Haya, wacha ni hii side pia. Leo naamua ku control both sides. Nikuje kwako pia kiongozi. Do you think pia you sai wako ready for leadership?
Thank you. I'm Lois Mangira, mkazi wa Homa Bay County. I want to say that youths are very ready for taking up the responsibility in leadership, because these youths have expertise and they have a lot of knowledge that they have acquired through their lifestyle. Therefore, when given an opportunity, youth shall deliver and they shall make our country better than we have today. This is because of the number one reason. The problem that our youths are facing when it comes to matters pertaining to employment, you find that the government has really enacted strict laws that are barring our youth from ascending into this leadership position. For an example, you will find that for you to ascend into a position like Director General, you must have served in the government within the government for at least 10 years. Where shall these youth get that experience if that is the rule that the government is really enacting? Therefore, I'm urging the government that as youth, for the youth to prosper, there are some laws that should be changed for these youth at least to get something on the table, so that at the end of the day, the youth are able to make the country better.
Haya wazi. Hii side pia nakwambia ni kubalance. Mimi ndo Mr. Speaker leo. Kiongozi hapo kando yako. Wanakuita nani, alafu pia nikuulize pia wewe sahi. Are you happy na mechanisms governance amena put in place to ensure that youth wako included kwa decision making table?
Kwa majina naitwa Rafael, ama ukipenda unaweza kanita Ru. Mkazi wa Homa Bay na pia ni mzaliwa papa hapa hivi. Naam.
Sahi unikuuliza uko happy na gava kenye inafanya, imesema inataka ku include youth. Mambo ya inclusivity, are you happy currently?
Kwa hakika nitasema kwamba ni jambo la kinaya zaidi unapokuwa unauliza swali kama hilo, kwa sababu litakuwa ni swali la kinaya kwa sababu zipi? Utapata kwamba mara nyingi aswa sisi kama vijana ama kama wananchi ambao bado ni wadogo, ambapo tunaitwa ni vijana, tunanyimwa zile nafasi za kuweza kumiliki ama zile nafasi ya kuweza kuonyesha kwamba tunazo talanta na pia vile vile tuna uwezo wa kuweza kuongoza. Basi itakuwa ni vyema mno kama serikali wenyewe kwa wenyewe kwanza waweze kuonyesha kwamba wana nidhamu nzuri kwa vijana, kwa watoto ambao wao wamewazaa, kwa sababu unajua hatujajizaa sisi wenyewe, mbali tumezaliwa na hawa ambao sasa hivi wamekwamia katika viongozi, ambapo wataki kuondoka katika viongozi. Na unapokuwa basi yule ambaye wewe ni kiongozi hutaki kutoka katika uongozi, kisha unaambia kijana kwamba asubiri hadi wakati wake utakapofika. Hamna wakati ambapo wa vijana ambapo unafika, kwa sababu hata sasa hivi ukiangalia kwa wale ambao wanafariki haswa sana katika nchi yetu ya Kenya, wengi wao ni sisi vijana, ambapo unapoambiwa kwamba usubiri siku yako itakapokuwa inafika, basi swali ambalo tutakuwa tunajiuliza ama tunakuwa tunajiuliza kila wakati ni kwamba siku zetu zitakuwa zinafika lini, na kama sisi wenyewe ndo tunakufa, basi serikali wana sababu, na sababu zao ni kutupatia zile nafasi, na sisi pia tuweze kuonyesha kwamba tuna zile tajriba za kuweza kuwa katika hizo nafasi.
Kwanza napenda Kiswahili chako kaka Braza. Sasa nikuulizeje?
Asante.
Wale wengine maeneo mengine ya nchi wakihisi kwamba hawajajumuishwa na serikali, wao wanatokea nje kuandamana, hapo Homa Bay hali nipi?
Homa Bay kama kawaida, natumai kwamba mmekuwa mkitazama kwenye runinga zenyu ama kwenye mulishi zenyu kwamba kila wakati sisi huwa tunaongoza katika maandamano, kwa sababu tuna haki ya kuandamana kama mwananchi, kwa sababu imeweza kuandikwa pale kwenye katiba. Na pale tunapoandamana tuandamana tu kwa sababu tunahisi kwamba kuandamana, bali tunaandamana tukiwa na madhumuni ya kwamba ni swali nzuri sisi kuandamana ili kuonyesha kwamba tunaonyesha serikali ya siku kwamba tumegadhabishwa na mambo mengine ambao wanayatekeleza, ambapo si kwetu sisi kama vijana na hatupendezwi nayo.
Asante. Nikuje side nyingine pia kiongozi anakuita nani, unampiga pamba safi hapo, suti hatari. Ungenipatia memo ndugu yangu, mimi ninyonge tai leo. But yana pressure. Tuki jump in kwa conversation, wanakuita nani, alafu pia uniambie Gen Zs, are they ready for leadership sahi?
Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all in Homa Bay for this Devolution Conference. So first of all, what I might say that if you leave youth outside for leadership, you are telling us that there is no Kenya.
Nambuongeze sauti kidogo.
There is no Kenya, because if youths are outside for leadership, they must be trained. And here in Kenya, youths have, they are learned enough. We have a lot of hopes in youths, but kuna ujanja ingine yenye inakuwa kwa wanasiasa
yenye
haibambi kabisa. Lakini ukiangalia Kenya, wakubwa ndio wanafanya. Ukiangalia utapata kama mtu ako 50 years 60 years ana return anaregeshwa. Na unapata kama mtu amefanya finance. Kuna wengine wenye wako na masters degree, they have a lot of qualification. Na unapata kama waziri ni 50 years, 80s, bado wako tu hapa. Lakini ukiangalia hapa Homa Bay, mdogo mwenye ako mbele sana hautapata. Lakini tunataka hii serikali, hii devolution ilete amani kwa youths. Utapata youths watapiga kelele. Wanapiga kelele kwa sababu kuna jambo. Jambo ni gani? Leo tunaambiwa tutafanya hivi. Lakini ukiangalia kesho yake unapata kama watu wengine ndio wamepenya wako ndani. Ukiangalia hao ni watu wenye uwezi hata kuapproach. Youths wanataka youths kwa sababu nikipata youths mwenzangu kwa leadership, tumejua vile tunaweza ongea. Tunasikilizana kwa lugha moja. Na utapata kama ni mzee alisoma 1997, mimi nimesoma 2008, mwingine amesoma 2004. Sasa kuelewana si rahisi.
Ni ngumu kuelewana
kabisa.
Haya, wacha nipatie pia wanaume mmeongea sana pia nyinyi. Wacha nipatie dada hapo kando yako pia utuambie sasa hii ni International Youth Day na pia kuna issue ya inclusivity kwa devolution conference. What a coincidence. Utasemaje, are you ready for leadership?
Okay, thank you for this chance. I'm Evelyn Cynthia. I'm a youth from Homa Bay and yes, we are ready. Mtupatie chance muone. We are ready. And kitina sumbua our leaders, they can't even give us a chance. Like you want to go and see so and so, you can't even allowed. Unaambiwa like, who are you? Please watupatie that chance, waone kama tutaweza ama tutaweza.
Kama mtaweza.
Yeah.
Haya, wacha nipatie pia mwingine kando yako pia aniambie unaitwa nani, alafu pia maoni yako ni gani. Naomba usimame pia.
Okay, I am Judy Thaua.
Karibisha mic.
Naitwa Judy Thaua.
Judy. Aya, tuambie, are you ready for leadership?
Yes, I am ready.
Naomba karibisha mic, hatukusikii. Governor atapiga simu bana.
I am ready.
Karibisha mic. Ongea sasa.
Naitwa Judy Thaua. Niko ready.
Mbona una feel uko ready?
Niko tu ready.
Uko tu ready. Uko tu ready. Umesoma, uko sawa. Uko na experience enough. Ngoja nikuje side pia kiongozi hujabonga pia wewe. Yes. Tuambie maoni yako ni gani briefly.
Okay, thank you very much for the chance and we welcome you once again in Homa Bay.
Asante mazee.
Na
unafaa kuniambia karibu unakuja na mbuta na ugali.
Yeah, mbuta iko after the show tutaenda ukule. Kadri ya uwezo wako utabeba.
Haya.
So kwa majina ni Daudi, or call me Devo Mundo, aka Omundo Komundo.
Omundo Komundo.
Yeah, the only Omundo Komundo in town. Yeah, so my take on whether we are ready or not, I'm more than ready. So you can show me the office and start right now. Yeah, just give me the office and I surprise you. Yeah, and what I've found out is that you leaders have taken us, I don't know how to put this, but wametuchukua ni kama tutabaki pale pale. Like for instance, take this. Mti ukipanda, do you think hiyo mti ukitarudi kupata each and every time iko tu pale pale? It grows as time goes by, right? Now, hapa ndio unapata ya kwamba there is that age according to the constitution that is required for you to be a youth. As you are speaking right now, initially we were told that you just wait for your time. When will this time come? Today I'm 33 years old as you see me. Mtu anakuambia bado, you wait. Utaongojea dilini. Kwani is it manna from heaven that you are waiting for? No. So I believe this is the right time. And on our county government, sana the legislature, the MCS, tunapata wanalalia kazi kabisa. They are really failing us as the youths. For one, can't tell us that we elect you with our votes, we entrust you with the leadership. Wewe unarudi unatuambia that you don't know your work. You are in bed with the executive. Then why are you there? Why are you there?
Haya, wacha nipatie pia mwenzako hapo, alafu nitapenda mtavuka hapo nyuma kabisa. Pia wewe unasemaje? Wanakuita nani kwanza?
Mimi Nuchieng Neven, wanaitwa Nevo, resident of Homa Bay. Just on that question, that is a verbal irony. Allow me put like that. Youths are ready. All these youths who are seated here have gone to school. And they have skills. Though they say if you apply for a job, qualifications say that you must have 10 years. Why so? Why? Why is that so? So we are just requesting the MPs, who are the lawmakers, to at least amend some laws that can help these our youths. When they hear that they are being salaries are being increased, they run for that, but not doing what can help our youth. So we are just appealing to the current government to try through thick and thin to help these our youths.
Kesho WSR akikuja hapa usimame tu mwambie kenye niambia sasa.
I'll be there.
Haya, acha nivuke hapo nyuma kabisa. Nipatie naona alikuwa kiongoza anacheka anafurahia tu. Simama tukuone. Unaambiwa wanakuitana, alafu pia issue ya amesema kuna na changes kwa law wa bunge mazee. Do you feel the same way that kunafaa kuwa hata na age limit ya msee ukisavimi yako unafaa utoke wache vijana kazi?
Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Ni vizuri
wanaita
Mr. Speaker sir.
I'm John Bosco from Machakos. I came here since 2018. I studied Tomboya, Akiro Science with IT. But until now, I'm still crying without my degree. One thing I suffer too much is every time, all the leaders that I've ever met in government, most of them ni shikamo. So hakuna mtu yenye mnaweza sema mko rika moja kwa ile government. Nikikupata pale siwezi kusalimia shikamo. Most of the time ni shikamo. So we are tired of this shikamo. We need people who are there, who are Gen Zs.
Unapoingia hapo mwambie bro ni aje, uko fiti?
Bro ni aje, uko aje? How do you feel? So hakuna. I'm only 25 now. Can you give us people? We youth, can we give ourselves a person? Most of the time tunatoka tunaenda maandamano. Hii maandamano tunaenda tunapiga kelele, at the end tunarudi kwa nyumba. There is no change. Why do we so?
So una feel hata hiyo maandamano mmekuwa kimkienda still.
Sometimes it's not bringing. Why can't we tunaenda maandamano, tunasimama hapo, tunasimamisha huyu, tunasema wewe Mr. Speaker, now you will be the MP of this sub-county. Now to support you. Why do we have in every sub-county a youth office?
Sema tu nitakuwa tu speaker wa ukweli hasa pale.
Yeah, we will be. Utakuwa Mr. Speaker. So naomba. Naomba sisi wenyewe tukue na umoja.
Naenda kuongeza kitu. Patie mic.
Asante sana. By the name, I'm Felix Lucas. I'm a resident from Homa Bay County. Mr. Speaker, the way my brother and my colleague has called you, when you were coming, I think you came along the written words. Like, they are really good. Like Homa Bay County, county of the endless potential. But come, I will not even show you one potential in our county. Like, leaders are really fooling us. Basically, those are just English words. They are sweet. Reading them are sweet, but action in the ground, there is nothing there. I'm telling you something that is very, very true. Like last year, some years back, we had first Evolution Conference in Homa Bay County. Tell me, we had several projects and we were told several things. Sweet words, what, investors are going to come. Can come, you show me just one. Maybe you are a media. I'm not a media personnel. Show me even one potential that we have unlocked in Homa Bay County. You come here, you lock with us with some things that are not even making sense. But English words we were taught in secondary school, they should not be sweet, but action should be more important than those English words that they are writing for us. Number two, I know time is running. I just want to tell our parents, especially in the leadership capacity, just go, one of them, my MP, Mheshimiwa Honorable Peter Pondokaloma. I really respect him a lot. But I just want to remind him, let him just go back to his house and count the number of youths just right there, and the parents there, and you divide the representation. Bona youths, we are capable. Youth's power.
Anda kuongezea.
Asante sana.
Briefly tu, alafu nipatie msaja bonga hapo kando.
Kwa majina tena naitwa Alois. Nataka tu kutetea ma MCS wa county. Manzia watu wanajaribu sana. Ni venye kuna tu venye kiasi lakini sio sana. Unacheki? Au ma MCS kidogo tunaona au MCS wa Homa Bay County kuna zile masheria ambazo
karibisha mic.
Okay, thank you. Nasema hivi MCS wa Homa Bay County wanajaribu. Reason being there are some legislative that they have passed at the county assembly that can be felt across the entire country. Sorry?
MCA in Mayut. Homa Bay.
Some of them are used. For example, the Kaksingri MCA, that is Suba South, Honorable Vikins. That man is still a youth, and there are several MCAs across the country who are still who are youth, and they are doing their roles of representation that are impacting the society.
People shall and kujibu.
Honor, let us be candid enough and honest to ourselves. My name is Michael Kojo Tieno, aka the people shall or the people may. I can tell you vividly that we've been participating in public participation. Correct. And if you go to the assembly, you will find those members of the county assembly are sleeping on their job. One, tell me the number of legislations they passed. Because me, I've been participating in the house. And sometimes we can even make noise. And we say that no effective public participation has been carried. For instance, I can tell you, the only legislations that have been passing is about Homa Bay County Investments Act. The latest one was about the street naming, of which they are also raping the same law, which they have passed. They are naming persons who do not have even good stature under Leadership and Integrity Act. They don't even feature. They are living researchers and good academic scholars. So what the honorable member is telling us here doesn't feature. And I can tell you, and I can attest and confirm, that if you go even to the Hansards, you listen to what members of county assembly have been passing. Look at even the legislation touching on the young people. If we have young people in the county assembly, why is it that they are defeated in making a legislation to give effect to the employment of the youths in this country?
Asante.
And also in Homa Bay County?
Ashasema yake. Wacha ni nani hajabonga isaidi. Kiongozi ongea jambo.
Gen Z Viva. Viva. Ya, kwa majina naitwa Tony Blair, mkazi wa Homa Bay. First and foremost, I want to appreciate the Royal Media, that's Meme and K24.
Media Mass Network Limited, K24 TV and Kameme.
Hapo sasa umetengeneza hapo Mr. Speaker sana. Asante sana.
Mr. Speaker lazima kuwe on.
Okay, you asked a question by the way, and I heard you. You asked more about leadership. In fact, I'll run for MCA Commence 2027. Gen Z Viva. Gen Z Viva. Yes, because you know, we as youths, I think MCA, this is a position so far that we have to use so that we elevate our political arenas. So I'm shocked somehow if ukienda hata hapa Arujo, we have got Arujo ward within Homa Bay, utapata the MCA ako more than 38 years, you know, and I'm a Generation Z, I'm here, you know. Then I want to also speak about this issue of youth affairs. You know, sisi kama Gen Z, watu tunapitia changamoto mingi sana. Hasa kwanza tuna kazi. Ya pili, yani vitu ziko most. So unapata, hakuna mali tunaweza peleka hizi vitu zetu. You get it? Ukienda hapo kwa ofisi, utaambiwa oh nini. You get it? So I think we as generation, tunastahili kukuwa na ofisi yetu kama ofisi ya youth tu. You get it?
Sasa kama hata hamtaki kukureveal leaders wenu, mnasema bado mko leaderless.
Yeah,
hiyo ofisi nani atakaa kwa hiyo kama mko leaderless?
Tuko na potential leaders here wenye wanazosimamia hiyo position. You get it? Yeah, sasa unapata kama mtu anachaguliwa, kwanza akona ile board amebeba chuma. Unaona? Lakini kichwa hakuna kitu. Si ati aje, you get it? Yeah, watu
nataka kuanza gym pia mimi.
Watu wanachaguliwa ji wanabeba machuma manze. You get it? Na hapo hatutakubali. Manake we have skills, tuko na knowledge, tuko na attitude. Hawa watu wote wamekuja hapa, they are well trained. You get it? So they can stand in those offices.
I get it. I get it.
Let me stand. Briefly. Let me stand with what my brother has said. One of the challenges, the biggest challenge we have the youth is that we are very apolitical. Here in Homa Bay and even in the country, as I speak to the country right now, I am encouraging us as youth that we should start a political party. A political party for the youth will serve the youth agenda. And therefore, I call unto the youth, let us come together. Let us start a party and let us take over this country. The time is now.
Isaiah 60 verse 1 says, arise and shine.
Youths viva.
Hallelujah. Viva.
Youths viva.
Viva.
Ndio hao sasa. Hata majenzi mnatusikia wa Kitui, Machakos, Kilifi, we need to form a party. Haya, nani hajaongea? Tupate chance mtu mwenye hajaongea kindly na anataka kuongea briefly tu kiongozi. Sitaki tutoke hapa kama hujaongea. Sema jambo alafu pia nikuje kwa stage kwa mwenye hajaongea pia.
Sasa, my name is Eugene Odhiambo Bisa. I just want to talk about issue of being included as youth in the leadership. If they can't include us in the leadership, then we'll include ourselves. Because we, the youth, we are the people who go to the polling stations during elections. So at that point, we will, a youth as me, I'll take my certificates, do whatever it's necessary, vie for any seat. Then, as youths will be behind me. And after I get elected, I'll take my opportunity and the authority that I've get to work for each and every youth. That's what we need. We don't need all the elderly there. We need ourselves, youths as us, to be represented in these seats.
Sawa, umesema mnataka kuwa represented, yes, lakini pia nitauliza tu swali moja. One of the main reasons ilipeleka youth streets last year June ni hiyo unemployment na kufeel hamko included kwa gava. Mkasema cabinet mtaka ikweni ma youths. Cabinet ikatolewa wakaikwa wengine akina boys hapo, sitaki kuwataja majina, but are you happy with whatever the government is doing? Nitauliza tena. Nianze na wewe alafu nikuje side nyingine.
Okay, kwa majina naitwa Davis Kumonde. I'm from Homa Bay County. So I just feel like for now like the
sasa na ongeze sauti brother, ongeza sauti, karibisha kwenye mdomo.
Sasa. Okay, I think that the youths of this generation are now willing to overtake the older generation, because these people, they are not helping us at all. Starting from the
minority whip anasema aski.
Yes.
Minority whip anasema aski, anasema ongeze sauti.
Niongeze sauti. Okay, like I'm saying, like the youths, we are well educated and trained. Even as per me now, if I've been given a work in the county, I can work so well. You can find like these old people that have we elect them, but they don't help us. Like when you go and inquire for work, like me recently, I went to inquire for work. They tell me remove something, which I don't know.
Ati walikwambia?
Yes.
Walikwambia nini?
I should be removing something small.
Something small.
For the work. Yes. Kutoa kitu kidogo.
Sikia mwenye alikuwa anaongea anasema alikuwa unarudisha chai wewe. Ehe.
Yeah.
So unasema corruption pia ni issue kubwa sana.
The corruption has been too high. At least the government should look on that. And also the government should also help us as youth, like the creative innovators like me and others and other youths who are like intending to start other, like they have some potential skills that they can do many things, like there are others who can make cars. Some people have ideas. Wengine wanataka kuanza like entrepreneurial businesses, like something like that. So the government should at least have an eye on us.
Safi. Mnakuwa empowered. Kuna programs mingi za youth empowerment bana. Unasemaje wewe? Malizia kidogo, mpatia malizia briefly 30 seconds.
Okay,
so youth empowerment programs
involving youth programs.
Si mnapatiwa manduthi siku hizi?
Manduthi. But in Homa Bay, I have not seen one. We don't have.
Anataka kuongea hapo. Patia mic nini nyuma yako. Unasemaje? Naomba usimame pia.
Okay, Evelyn. I want to add on what Brian alisema. Like sisi my youths, most of our ladies, ukienda ku apply job, unaambiwa like, can we meet somewhere? Where? Which room? Huh? We have our own degrees. Like me, I'm a mortician. I did mortician. I did hotel catering. I did so many things. Like ukienda ku apply job, unaambiwa like, ongoja kidogo, ama can we meet somewhere? Can we meet Cold Spring? Can we meet Sturridge? For what reason? Na natumia my mind. Yeah? My papers. There's a time nilienda ku apply job somewhere. Nikauliza that person, wewe mwenye uko hapa, if I give you my certificates, the CEO mwenyewe atakufukuza kazi anipe that job, because maybe ulingia na backdoor. Either you get A na mimi nimepata B. Naona sasa si my youths wanatuona like we are nothing.
Iko sawa.
Yeah?
One of the biggest challenges nimepata hapa mazee, corruption na pia hao wenye watu kutake advantage.
Kuna kitu
briefly number 10 imeisha briefly.
Yes, najua time imeisha but kuna kitu nilikuwa nataka kuongeza. Kuna hii kitu inaitwanga kama unataka kujoin high school kuna venye una apply, si ndio? Ukijoin university kuna venye pia unafanya nini? Una apply. Sivyo ama hivyo? Hivyo. Na ikikama hapa kwa employment ukishamaliza kazi, sijui nini iliendanga wapi. Si wa create to another portal. In that ukimaliza, you just apply hata kama umekuwa placed to Ajir. You get it? Umepelekwa Mombasa, umepelekwa wapi? So hii naye enyewe prezo atuone kama youth. Hiyo nini? Then number 2 about I saw niliona venye rais alikuwa anatoa hizo mabikes. Na kwa kweli it's like kuempower youth. Si ndio? Lakini sasa isikwe tu Nairobi. Hata hapa Homa Bay. Unaona? Very soon tutakuwa hapa itakuwa city. Unaona? Na watu kuna watu wanduthi hapa. Ama kuna yes, tunataka hizo mabaiskeli, macharani, manini because I'm an engineer. So I know what engineering is. Hizo mabaiskeli inaweza tusaidia. Yes, asante.
Asante. Na mbona nafaa kurudisha studio mazee, lakini hao ni majenzi wa Homa Bay. I wish tungekuwa na more time. Hawezi tuongezea time? Lakini ni sawa tu. Namba kurudisha studio, my colleagues Miss K, Kagina na Linda wako studio mazee, lakini umesikia majenzi wa Homa Bay wamesema yao ikawatoka. Prezo na communication wamesema watapatana na kuna jamaa anaitwa nani? Omundu. So watapatana na Prezo Omundu. Wazi mazee. Wameongea yao ikawatoka. Wamesema issue kubwa kuteka hizo positions, corruption mazee imekuwa challenge kubwa. Alafu madem pia wanasafa, people are taking advantage of them. Si fiti mazee. Umesema the people shall, the people may. Optional. Shall mandatory. Aya, sema basi tukienda. Mpatie mic aseme tukienda. Yeye ndo na sign out leo hata si mimi. Mpatie mic aseme.
Kwa nini mnataka ni sign out? But nimeshukuru sana for the opportunity you've given unto us. But basically ningesema iti challenges zenye youth wana face sana. Inahitajika collective responsibility.
Nataka tu useme tu kitu ukiambia tu kitu Prezo na usisahau kusema shall na man.
Mimi ningependa kuambia I would like to tell the president that he needs to shift the paradigm and make sure that he listens to the young people. I know he's a parent. His kids are also at the same age group as us. He needs to pay more attention to us than to those old grannies.
Asante.
But as we finish, I say that the people shall mandatory, the people may optional. Asanteni sana.
Sign out. Studio Kagina, kesho pia tutakuwa hapa for the people dialogue, also live on K24 TV and Kameme. Utaenda wapi? It is either K24 ama hata Herusi watch kitu kingine. Kagina.
Well indeed, this is Gen Z Manifesto. Leo tunakuja kwa ground, where you are. Tunakuja mahali huko. Tusikie ground hii Kenya yote inasemaje. And to give context to our discussions, definitely we give statistics and numbers here once in a while. Na sasa leo, allow me to focus my numbers on this report, or rather a report of a survey done by Deloitte. Sasa there's not enough data about Gen Zs and millennials specifically on their perspective on leadership. However, it is very clear on how they take this away from politics, but now into their career lives. And this could reflect venye wana perceive leadership hapa nje. Even as we continue to ask the question today, if the Gen Zs were ready for leadership. And now, to the numbers here that are quite interesting. Sasa, kwa Gen Zs in the career space, especially the primary career goal yao, wengi si leadership. Only 6% kwa career goals wanasema wanataka leadership. 94%, the rest ni other goals. Mfano pesa kuongezeka, affairs, home life balance, mambo kama hayo. Na ukiangalia vizuri utaona sasa pia their priority is on matters like learning and development, work-life balance, career progression in their employer choice. Sasa hiyo ina place leadership as an ambition among the Gen Zs and millennials generally ikiwa lower kwa hiyo chain. Remember, this is according to the Deloitte 2025 Gen Z and Millennial Survey. But it doesn't end there. The survey also touches on other things. For example, the mentorship gap that is currently existing in the workspace now, even as we head towards politics. You know, good leaders are made from mentorship, and at least 50% of the Gen Z sampled by Deloitte expressed interest in wanting to be mentored or in mentorship opportunities, out of which only 36% expressed that indeed mentorship opportunities are available for them. So 70%, which is the majority of Gen Zs, are lacking mentorship from Gen Zs and millennials are lacking mentorship kutoka zile generations ziliwatangulia. And in terms of priorities zenye Gen Z wako nayo, 80% ni soft skills, wanasema na purely technical ones. So leadership is not as much prioritized among them. And it also continues to sample other matters of interest to the Gen Zs, which is now on the issue of learning in action. So, compared to other generations, when sometimes we are really faithful in terms of working, unakuwa employed kama mwalimu, you go on for years and years, then the Gen Zs are different. So in terms of learning, at least 70% of them say they are working on skill development at least weekly. This is in their different niches, and some even outside their niches. And so they are outperforming their seniors, wale millennials, by 59%. Again, to the question of whether Gen Zs are ready for leadership, if 70% of them are spending a good number of time of their time focusing on developing their skills, then probably this should point to a trend on readiness to be readiness, or rather dedication in polishing the skill. But the question cannot be answered entirely by those numbers, since those numbers focus on their careers. Tonight tutakuwa na hiyo discussion hapa, and we are discussing it here on Gen Z Manifesto. Miss K, tuambie kwa ground hapa sasa wao wanasemaje in the political space, wako ready for leadership?
Right. Kagina with the stats over there. We love your work, Kagina. We appreciate you. Now, hapa kwa hii ground yetu na Linda, the lovely Linda, tutauliza the same question as we begin this conversation here. Sir, we could get the mic to him to answer the question of today. Mko ready? Are we ready for leadership?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity of your chance. My name is Kago Ian Duncan, otherwise known as Dibaba, a former student leader. So we are ready, but there's some things we need to work on. We call it understanding of how things work on the ground and being realistic. First of all, in this country, the biggest resource we have as a country is a human resource. So if you take people outside the country and the people are still complaining, I don't understand why. That's the thing that we have. You can see people, 70% of Gen Z say that they work on the skill development.
Right.
And we cannot fit everyone in these institutions. We cannot. That's being realistic. The skill that we have, people want to work, but if they're given the chance, they don't want to work. And again, this generation of ours, people are very lazy. People, they can't say that. We have friends and we know them.
Gen Zs are lazy?
Of course. A lot of them are lazy. If you tell them, niko na bash Friday, they will come. Or you tell them, niko na kitu pali nataka kufanya kazi kidogo tufanye, they can't show up. Because I get the chances, and sometimes we post on our status, wangapi wanakuja hii kazi, only like 5 of them. But ukiambia kuna sherehe pali, 100 will come and they will show up. So we might be ready at some point, but not a lot of them are still ready. Hata kura wengine watachukua and they still not vote. Ask them on the ground. Wanasema mimi mambo ya siasa hainihusu, ni mambo ya watu wazee. So there's a lead, kuna work we need to work on. There's a lot of things we need to work on.
Don't you think that is a fallacy? Maybe it's an agenda that is being driven out here, that Gen Zs are lazy, but kwa kweli, as the stats are saying over there, 70% are developing skills every day, more than millennials.
Developing.
Where is your thought process from?
I'm on the ground. I have friends. I'm a Gen Z. Kwa ground vitu tofauti. You know statistics, sometimes you work on the few, not everyone. and it depends where you're collecting your data from. Not everyone, you know. If you say today, ukisema rafiki yangu hapa fanyai kazi, some will stand and say anafanya kazi, and some will say tujai mwana wa kazi. So it depends where you're coming from. But me, I know as a youth, I've seen it. Some people are not ready to work. They don't want to work.
Okay, Dibaba, thank you so much. Let me just get to hear from Sophie here. Sophie, do you agree with Dibaba when he says Gen Zs are not as, welcoming to work as we try to make them seem? As you also answer the question for today, which is, are we ready for leadership? You, Mwanzo, you are an aspiring youth MCA.
Yeah.
Yes. Please tell us what you think.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, as always. First of all, Dibaba, we're not as lazy as you're saying, but in politics, we're a bit lazy.
Okay, go on.
Looking for money, we're not lazy. Like in politics, we're a bit lazy. But in reality, because I've been hitting the ground, we the Gen Zs, we are ready for leadership.
Mm-hmm.
But the citizens are not ready for our leadership. Why am I saying this? I had my first political meeting with serious stakeholders in my area. So we have the meeting, there are around 30 people. We talk, we discuss, it's a very good conversation. After the meeting, of course, kuna chai and some snacks on my bill.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what hawaendi. What are they waiting for? Can you guess?
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting for a token, for listening to me for 2 hours, for us having a discussion about our future for 2 hours. So the movement helped me, but we ended up spending 20,000 shillings on a meeting of 2 hours. So mimi kama Gen Z, muna expect nitoe wapi 20,000 kila wiki?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest. Number 2, it is the citizens. By the way, we have been blaming the leaders so much, but now it has become an awakening to me that we Kenyans are the ones who create these bad, gluttonous, greedy leaders. If you're expecting me to use 20K every week for every single meeting, what are you doing to me? Umenipea stress. First of all, natoa wapi hiyo 20K? So, najua haukuli 20K kwangu peke yangu. Unakula from every single aspirant mwenye anataka umpatie maskio. So what will stop me nikiingia huko ndani, nisigeuke, nisiwageukie nikule pesa yenu, nisiwageukie niwaambie kwanza hii mlango yangu kwanza kuna kuanga hapo na secretary. Before uingie deal kwanza na, because you made me go through the same thing when I was coming to you, when I was asking for your vote, when we were having a conversation about our future. Mimi nimefika mahali ninaelewa kwa nini activists hawataki kuingia kwa politics. Kwa sababu huko kwa activism kuna kichele. Hii side ingine ya politics ni wewe unatoboka, my friend. It drains you. So if Kenyans are not willing to change their mindset, and I will say this, and as I close, it is my personal opinion, that if we are not willing to change the way we, the people, receive people who want to take political positions, then wacha hii gava iendelee hadi 2027. Why are we going to spend 68 billion on an election? Why is this government going to pour money on campaigns? Yet we know tunakula do. Si poa. So I am challenging us as Kenyans. Kataeni kuskuma majenzi kuwapatia do. Juu hatuna hiyo do, hatuna hata hizo jobs, but we want to go and change this country. So story ya kushinda hapo mmetuitisha do, it is the cause of why we have greedy leaders willing to steal your money that is supposed to make for you roads. Ndio maana wanatuibia. Kwa sababu first of all we put a gun to their heads that sitoki meeting kama ujanipea punch.
All right, thank you so much, Sophie. Sheikh. Sophie, sorry. Okay, Sophie hapa anasema the relationship between Kenyans and the government or aspiring leaders even is very transactional. Do you agree with that? And how then do we reverse that?
Kwanza kabisa ningependa kushukuru K24 for hosting us for nearly almost an year and without filtering our views. Thank you so much for being consistent. First and foremost, I disagree with my friend here, Kibaba. And then I agree with my comrade,
Dibaba is Dibaba. Yes.
And I agree totally with my comrade, Sophie. That is the attitude down there. kwamba whenever you go for leadership, unapata mtu anakuuliza walida shigana na wewe. Uko na pesa ngapi? Kwa hivyo that is the thing on the ground. So saizi nataka kusema kwamba tumeenda maandamano, matiagas tumekula, tumefungwa, tumeuliwa. Why should I allow Matiangi to come in and say nataka kuwa president, or Maraga to come and say I am fit to be president, ama Kalonzo who has done nothing for 40 years akuja semea ndio kuwa president? Kwa nini? Why should I allow the same old seasoned politicians to come back and tell me, now choose me, I will do this? What have you done in 40 years? Nothing. Okay? Like basically myself now, in the by-elections, I'll be vying MCA Kariobangi North as tribeless and fearless. We want to bring that message, tribeless. Hata irangi yangu huko hakuna, wacha ati kabila yangu. Hakuna msapere huko, mimi sio msapere wala mkani mkao ama mjaka. Lakini nataka nikulete maendeleo bila mapendeleo. Sababu wakati nitakuwa huko, nitakusaidia nisijali kabila yako ama rangi yako. But how ready are you to accept me? Mimi nitaenda, nishinde ni shauri yangu. Lakini kesho wewe hutanilaumu kwamba Sheikh hukusimama. Me have got agendas, okay? Because mwananchi hapa tuanze na Nairobi. What are the main things that a common citizen wants? A clean environment, water and sanitation, education, health, and an environment that will allow him to work freely. Mimi siwezi patia kila mtu kazi. Hiyo ndio ujinga sisi wa Kenya tunakuanga naye kwamba ukiingia uko Sheikh usinisahau. I will make an environment where kama hoka usifukuze kama mwizi. Uwe unafanya kazi yako, unaleta ushuru, you abide by the rules, I regulate whatever idea you come with. I was in the US. In the US, when you come with an idea, the government regulates it. Hapa Kenya, the government hijacks it. Unaona machokora ndio alianza imani kuman the toilets. Kanjo ikakuja ikawanyang'anya. Those boys were getting money. Kanjo, it has become a business. I've seen toilets ambayo inaleta 100K per day. Hiyo ingesaidia vijana. So our ideas, instead of being regulated, our wazee wanakuja wanazi hijack. Okay?
Right. Sheikh, I will come back to you in a minute. Linda, I don't know what people are saying on your other end.
I was listening to him, to Sheikh, and what has come out prominently is that government is actually hindering the strides made so far by the youth. But let me come to my people right here. We have the Secretary General for Maseno University being a leader so far. Are you ready for leadership? Or perhaps I should say you're already a leader. What are the challenges involved in this sector as you are coming up to be a prominent leader in the world?
Yeah, as Alvin, I'm an aspiring Secretary General of Maseno University. Some of the challenges we are facing is the handout thing. For example, like today, I'm going to vie. When I put, I think the delegate, they're expecting me to give them tokens. And again, secondly, there are some things in this government, maybe the policies. For example, like the new funding model is not working. The steps of making these policies, the impacts, the resources, which resources have they put in education? For example, like now, there's a student with almost a fee balance of 189,000, which VC will clear you in the university with that balance, talking the truth. So that's another problem. And again, also as an aspiring member of Parliament of South Element, and also I like leadership a lot. I like a county like Murang'a, and I have started bringing this narrative in my county, in Meru County. How many Gen Zs are in that cabinet for the county government? How many, for example, like Murang'a, they have a deputy who is a youth. How many counties who have deputy governors who are youth? That's my take.
Yeah. So you're also inspiring others to join leadership. Thank you. Kibet, let me come to you. You're also a youth leader. What are your thoughts in regards to the topic of the day and whether you're ready for leadership positions? And what are some of the hindrances?
Thank you first to K24 and Kameme TV for hosting us. My name is Peterson Kibet Kurgat, a youth leader from Kericho County. First and foremost, I'd like to wish all the youths and Gen Z happy International Youth Day today. And first, on the manifesto we have today, I would like to say that Gen Zs are ready to take up the leadership mantle.
Perhaps, Kibet, you can use this particular mic.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. First and foremost, Leadership skills, Gen Z, we are very ready. We have the experience and education and intelligence. That is not in question. It is in the public domain that we are the products of free education, chaired by the late President Honorable Mwai Kibaki, the late. And pertaining that matter of leadership skills, we are very, very, very ready, and we are ripe. The time is ripe for now. During the Mandamanos, we spearheaded the transformation in this country first. We've been able to push the government to listen to the agenda and the ideas of the youth of this country. And now we are seeing even the president chairing and empowering the youths. Like for instance, today in Masinde Muliro University, the president was able to give out 163 million to the youths, which has empowered over 816 youths in this country. With that, if it were not for the Gen Z to push the government, we will not be able to see such products.
Okay.
The problem that is hindering us as Gen Zs is that we have a prize. That is absurd for sure. We get that, for instance, when we have a Gen Z who is rising to power or in leadership skills, we are being used to fight our own by the Gen Zs ourselves. For example, let me not mention names, but we had some youth leaders after the Mandamanos. But it's the opposition and some leaders who infiltrated the organization for Gen Zs, and we're able to be divided. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kibet. And his sentiments takes us to a short commercial break. Keep it here. Kameme TV and K24 TV. Don't go too far.
welcome back. This is the Gen Z Manifesto. Hapa form ni kuongea itutoke, and tonight we are asking the youth, are they really ready for those leadership roles? Tulikuwa na majibu kwa ground. He's all the way in Homa Bay, and the guys there, Linda, your passion. They have so much passion, and I love it. What do you think about
Miss
what we've
K,
been talking about
the
so far?
people shall.
The people
mandatory.
shall.
The people may.
He was very much present.
Optional.
Yeah. I really love it. And also here in studio, we have Sheikh, we have Sofinje here, we have amazing people who, and Dibaba, you know, Dibaba amesema Gen Zs are lazy. Na ni kama anapigwa huku.
We'll revisit
maybe
that
we
conversation.
will revisit. He should have a rebuttal maybe to maybe more explain what he really meant about that. For now, let's get to hear Kags. He has his panel over there. He's a lawyer. He's a political analyst. Kagina.
Well, indeed, kuna mwenye amesema Gen Zs ni lazy. Ningemjibu sahi lakini wacha nitamjibu.
Ni statistics yako, by the way.
So on this side of the panel, we are joined by two very interesting guests. We have Wesley Jeff, who is a political analyst as well as youth leader. We also have Lena Mati, who is a lawyer par excellence. And so I start with a question that everyone has answered. Starting with Lena, are Gen Zs ready for leadership?
Thank you. I think being ready is relative. When you talk about the willingness by the young people to take over power, most of them are willing, because from the look of things on the ground, the young people that I talk to, most of them will want to go for these positions in 2027. But willingness is not enough, Kagina. Willingness has to come with a strategy. Even a soldier, before they go to battle, they will always look, what is my strategy? Before someone goes out there to play a race or anything like that, they'll always come up with a strategy. So do the young people have a strategy to take over power? They don't. And that's why I say that they're not ready. Politics is a game, just like any other game. And in a game, if it's football, you cannot bring the rules of chess, the way chess is played, and bring it into football. It's different. Politics is a game, and it has its own rules. So I don't agree with my brother that Gen Zs are lazy, but I think Gen Zs want to come up with their own rules. And those rules, for now, they cannot be accommodated by the systems that we have. So whether they are ready is relative. They are willing, yes, but they don't have a strategy.
All right. Do you agree with him, Wesley?
Agina, first of all, allow me to thank you for giving me this invite to be on the Gen Z Manifesto. It's a pleasure to be here. And allow me to say hi to your viewers, especially the viewers who may be watching from my great county of Laikipia. Now, one, I want to disagree completely with my sister here, because I personally think that Gen Zs are ready for leadership. And this is why. What are the qualities of a good leader? One, you have to have a clarity of mind. What is the clarity that has been since 2024? The clarity has been, we want a Kenya that is transparent, accountable, and with good governance. That is one quality of a good leader. The second one, you have to have a vision of where you want to go. The vision is that we want a Kenya that is free of corruption, a Kenya that gives my child and the child of a politician equal opportunities. That is a quality of a good leader. The third one is that a good leader has to have emotional intelligence. And this is where partly I slightly agree with her on the readiness part, because the emotional intelligence part will dictate to you that you have to be pragmatic and realistic in leadership. Because the call to challenge the systems that be today in this government and in this system that we have came from a moral perspective, that this is not right and it has to be called out. However, the solutions are in politics. You've heard my good friend here, Sophie, tell you the realities of politics. That is being pragmatic and realistic. Now, if we work on the emotional intelligence part about how we approach the politics in this country, then we are ready. And so that I finish up with my first response is, I'll answer you personally, because I am part of this Gen Z movement. Do you think I am ready for leadership? Yes, I am. And the reason for this is because, how can I not be ready when I am not only misrepresented by the people that are elected to represent me, I am represented wrongly. And I'll give you an example because it is critical to this point I'm trying to make. Recently, the parliamentarians were debating the issue of AI in parliament. And their main point and their main argument and the main crux of what they were talking about in parliament is regulating AI because it is being used as a tool for social justice. We're not talking about the fact that we are at a point where we are almost at an equilibrium in the world, right? Where if we are left behind again, Africa will also be left behind for the next 50 years. They are out here talking that we should regulate AI because
it is being used to make fun of politicians. Not talking about the jobs that AI is making people lose, because even in this media house, in research institutions, in many places where AI is being incorporated, people are losing jobs. Why would I need to hire 3 people when I can pay for the premium account of an AI model to do the same job, right? That is not being discussed in Parliament. In the Middle East and in the Asian countries, they've passed laws that children need to learn AI by the age of 6, right? We are here, we are talking about AI as a regulator, to be regulated in social media because of insecurity. So the debates in Parliament are becoming insecure. So how can you tell me I'm not ready for leadership when people are debating in Parliament based off insecurities and not pragmatism?
Something Lena has said, which was quite interesting, is the lack of strategy. What do you think of that? You say you are ready for leadership, yes, but you have the strategy to play the game by how the systems look right now.
You see, what I pointed out was that in every game, you have to consistently improve. That is a place where the lack is. And I'll give you an example of 2024. A lot of the talk has been around that Gen Z keep saying that they are leaderless, they do not have leaders within their movement. But in my interpretation of that call, it is not the leaderlessness is not an affront to leadership. It is an affront to leadership as it was offered to them. So you're telling us that we are coming to the street talking about good governance, transparency, and a corruption-free society. You're telling us to give you leaders to go into the same government that has that same thing, right? So if you appoint me, Wesley, to become something in this government, I will not change anything, and at the very most, I will become the exact same thing I went into government to fight. So what is the use for me to go there? That is why they keep rejecting these structured formats that exist. They rejected the whole concept of the leadership they were offered then. They are rejecting the intergenerational conclave that has been proposed right now. It is not because we don't want to speak, not because we don't want a Kenya that works. It is because the Kenya that we are being given, we have almost 19 commissions that have reports collecting dust. Now you want us to go and sit for another one and say that this one is suddenly going to work by some stroke of magic that we have not seen since we were born. I was born in 1996, my friend. These people are having those dialogues. What is the new thing they are going to tell us now?
Lena, when he says that the current structures might not really accommodate them, but then again there's the question of how then do we go ahead? Is it possible for the Gen Zs to actually get to those positions with the current structures as they look?
Yes, I think we can be able to circumvent some of them in one way or another, but it will take a lot. One of the weapons that the young people used, they have used since last year, was the unity of the young people. You realize that we need political parties because they are the main vehicles to power. Before governance, politics is part of it. That's why I'm saying that politics is a game and you need to know how to play so that you can get to the governance part. Now, we can be able to circumvent the structures that we have right now, but we also need to look for also long-term solutions to that. Let me give you an example of how we can be able to circumvent. As I've said, the unity of the young people is one thing that has stood out. So if I'm vying today, and I want to go beyond the structures that we have right now, we will need to pull ourselves together, irrespective of your political party. So if I'm buying, I'll tell you, Kagina, I know you can be able to support me. I'm not being supported by a political party, and I may need finances for that. So can you be able to do for me a video, a shout out, hey.
Shout out.
A video.
Shout out to Lena. Yeah,
Wow. Yes, you just saying that, what for this and this. Another person is good in photography. They can be able to take photos, Another person is good in designing posters. They can be able to design for me posters. So you realize that with that unit, you can be able to reach as many people as we want. And then us as young people, if we decide that, we are going to pull behind this person, we always do actually. When we decided last year that we're going to the streets, most of the people came, they came. And then there's also the aspect of social media. Social media has been helping us a lot. So I believe that we can be able to circumvent the structures for now, but you also need to look for long-term solutions.
All right, Linda, you hear what my panelists have to say about the conversation tonight, and indeed critical questions have been raised as to the readiness and to the existing structures. Lazima wakuwe na mpango. In the words of one famous leader, hao watu hawana mpango.
Hey,
Linda.
Hey. But you know, we'll always rely on the stats that you gave us today. So we believe in that. If 70% are on skill development, that's what we'll settle on. And we have a couple of people who've not spoken yet, and still we are pressed for time. So at least take a minute just to give your sentiments on the readiness and what are your thoughts around leadership, youth leadership.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Regina Nkirote, aspiring women representative, Meru County.
Shikilia mic vizuri.
Sorry. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Regina Nkirote, aspiring women representative, Meru County, and the founder of Waves of Change for High and Youth Initiative. Now, we as youth, we are very ready for leadership because, for one, we are trying to use maybe social media to leverage or also raise our voices so that we can be heard. But at the same, we are experiencing several challenges. Number one, myself, unapata jenzi mwenzangu ananidharau juu naomba kiti ya woman rep, na ile kitu yenye instead ya yeye akusupport, yeye anafeel wewe ufai kuomba hiyo kiti. But mimi nasema hiyo ni kiti ambayo haipimwi na uzito. Meru County si baby kwa mgongo. Wanafaa instead wanipige jeki ndio tufike pale, because kwani inahitajika nini kufika pale bunge? Yule mwenye ameketi bunge sahi kama my woman rep, ile kiti amekalia si ati nitaenda ikuwa adjusted ikuwa decreased in size or rather increased in size. But so ningeomba tukue vijana wenzetu watusaidie tufike pale, because sasa tukiangalia pia tunafaa kuwa na political parties, tunafaa tukue na tukiitwa kwa hiyo meza ya decision making, please tusiende tupewe hiyo token alafu tunageuka majenzi wenzetu. Hii nchi inatutaka sisi na tuko na nafasi ya kugeuza kila kitu hii yenye hatupendi. Asante.
Clarion call Mulamba. What are your thoughts when the Baba was speaking? You're like, yo, kazi tu yenye hatuwezi fanya ni ya mjengo. So what are your thoughts?
Gen Zs are not lazy, they are choosing, which is not a bad thing anyway. After all, you choose your marriage partner. You take your time. Kazi za sijui kujenga nyumba, sijui affordable housing, sisi hatukuenda kusoma tufanye affordable housing. Let's come back to this topic. There is a common notion out here that I want to dispel, that Gen Zs are irreverent to authority, we are recalcitrant, we are obstinate, we are cantankerous, we are uncooperative, we are know-it-alls, and we do not want to be advised. But they have forgotten one thing, that we have refused to be mentored by the current political crop. If that means we are uncooperative, then so be it. We have refused to compromise our belief system. If that means we are uncooperative, then so be it. So these Gen Zs you see here, and the Gen Zs across Kenya, are very ready for leadership, and they understand what leadership should be, not the kind of shenanigans and chicanery we have right now. This is not leadership. This is pure nonsense. And we are not ready for that. These Gen Zs you see here are academically cooked. They have been oven-baked in the streets as they have protested for better governance. They have been validated in the courts of public opinion. That we very know, that the country is looking up to us as the next generation of leaders. That is without any doubt.
But there are so many challenges in between. That's what you say.
The biggest challenge we have is the mindset of the Kenyans today.
Thank you. Thank you. Perhaps you can move to Cynthia as well, just to give us her sentiments in regards to this topic today. You are also an aspiring women leader for Busia?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Thank you so much. My name is Cynthia. I'm a youth activist and aspiring women representative Busia County. I don't like saying I'm a women aspiring. I like saying I'm a women representatives in our waiting. It's only time that is keeping me. Happy International Youth Day to all youths and all aspiring leaders. Today we celebrate young people. Today we celebrate youths who are daring to go for different positions, different seats in this country. We celebrate their boundless courage. We celebrate their creativity and everything that they are doing to ensure that in one way or the other, the country is moving at the right direction. The question of the day, are the young people or the Gen Z ready for leadership? My answer is yes. We are very much ready for leadership. Today, 2025, we can see that the young people, they have come out, they have challenged the state quo, they have fought for justice, they have challenged the government, and they have called for accountability. Otherwise, why did they kill Albert Ojwang?
Finally, as you conclude.
As I conclude,
Yes.
okay, as I conclude, the young people of this country belongs to this country and each and every institution in this country. So we are not an exemption, and we don't need any approval from this current leadership for us to run for these seats. We are qualified enough, and for us to run for these seats, we don't need someone to ask us of our age, of our whatever, because for me, I believe leadership or politics, it's all about serving people. And for you to serve people, your age does not have to determine. It's all about integrity. It's all about you being willing to do what is right. And it's all about you being honest to the people you're looking forward to serve.
Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you so much. Jacob, just allow me, there is one particular person who's not had to speak today. Speak to us, lawyer of the day, as we finalize on my panel.
Okay, good evening. My name is Gashomi Mwangi. I am a lawyer, and my sentiments are very simple. The youth are very ready. And the reasons as to why the youth are ready is because the laws we have in place, the policies we have in place, in the long run, these are the people that will come to affect. And leadership, you don't have to vie for a political position for you to own a leadership role in the society. You can vie for a leadership position as an names from the grassroots to the top seat. And also the other key factor I feel like people tend to forget is we are talking about leadership, we are talking about political representation, but who is talking about voter sensitization?
Okay.
Who is carrying out civic education on why it is important to take that vote? Because you will notice in the previous election, it was not, in as much as the key demographic in Kenya is the youth, they were the least number of voters.
Okay.
So I rest my case.
Okay. Thank you so much. We truly appreciate. No, we are really pressed for time, Sheikh. You know, you're always welcome here every Tuesday for the Gen Z Manifesto. And from where I stand, Miss K, leadership looks like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Linda. Sheikh, next Tuesday we are with you. And all the best as you vie for that seat, all right? Okay, let's hear what people are saying back at home. Again, the question has been, are Gen Zs truly ready for these leadership roles? We have feedback from you guys watching back at home. First of all, we really appreciate you for always tuning in every Tuesday from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. K24 na Kameme TV. We really appreciate you. Okay, one of you says leadership requires skills, literate personnel, also sound mind, not age at all. For me, they are 100% fit for it. Thank you so much for your feedback. All right, another person says, kwani haujirada bro, kama wezi ongoza ni Matiang'i, hawezi ongoza. So this country needs someone like me. Who are you? Get up on number, maybe, you know. Another person says, hello. Happy International Youth Day. Happy International Youth Day to you too. Yes, I think youths are ready. Endurance from the education they've been through. Joseph from Kericho. Thank you so much, Joseph, for your feedback. Mwingine anasema, yo, ni ajeni wazito. Ni Sam Mololo from Makueni. Hatudai leadership. Alright, hatudai leadership. Sisi wenyewe tuko sawa juu hawa kuu utubeba ufala. Alright. Duncan from Kenyenya, Kisii, anasema, don't think that we are ready since most Gen Z don't respect their elders. We must respect and honor our elderly to get blessings, directions, etc. Respect all the dignitaries before you. Patience and respect is paramount. All right, Duncan from Kenya. Niko sure huku watu wakona something to say about the respect your elders. I don't know what Wesley has to say about that, Kagina.
Well, indeed, I'll allow him to speak even as he passes on his closing remarks on the matter tonight. I think we've raised enough problems. What's the way forward?
One thing, allow me to just also add one quality why I think Gen Zs are ready for leadership. One quality of a leader is you have to be principled. Now, principle doesn't always have to mean you're right. Principle just has to make you have a conviction that if you follow through, you will be right. I've had the privilege of serving as a national youth leader of a national political party. And at the point where my principles were challenged, eventually I tried to change the system from within and I had to leave. And the reason why that is important to bring up is because we have spoken about this conversation enough times. Because even the question of are we ready comes from a point of a skewed relationship, that always youth are seen as incompetent to an extent as a result of just youth, right? Now, the solution, as you've asked, is this. Politics, the first rule in the game of politics is led by interests. Youth need to understand whose interests are you serving. So in whatever capacity you are as a youth, you need to understand that you need to further the agenda of youth there. And there's something I call guaranteed minimum returns that all youth should further wherever they are.
All right. Thank you very much. Lena?
One thing that we need to understand is that every uprising and every revolution always had something driving it. When you look at 1963, during the independence, the people wanted freedom. In 1992, people were fighting for multi-party elections. In 2007 to 2010, we were fighting, for reforms and inclusivity, which now led us to devolution. Last year, when we went out to the streets, we were driven first by the finance bill, but we evolved, we got also to talk about governance and also about economy. And you realize that we went out to the streets to challenge things like unemployment and such things. So majorly it was economic. So even us as the young people, when we are going out and say that you want to buy in 2027, we must have ideas. It must not just be about one term. One term and, must go and all their slogans. Very important. Very important. They are not ideas. We need to have ideas on how we are going to be able to work on our economy and make our country greater.
All right. She says we have to go beyond the one-term slogans. And Linda, I think they've wrapped it and summed it all up. So allow me to pass it on to you. I'm David Kagina. Thanks for watching.
Linda?
And my name is Linda Koskei. Many thanks for joining us here on K24 TV and the Kenya, if not Africa. Good night.
All right. So, as we close the show tonight, here are my 2 cents. Now, you've heard it from youth themselves on this International Youth Day. They say they are indeed ready. Most of them say that they are indeed ready for the leadership roles, but we must agree that the ultimate litmus test will be in the consequent years after we do elect them come 2027. And by the way, how many guys of you ni wangapi mnavai for the coming by-elections? Naona pale shake. So now begs the question, are Kenyans ready to trust the youth enough to choose them as their leaders? Are Kenyans ready to let go of the old systems, old ideas, old destructive tactics that haven't served them thus far? Are Kenyans willing to bet on the younger generation? And to my fellow young brilliant comrades, remember, Frantz Fanon once said, every generation must discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. The choice is yours. I rest my case. My name is Miss Kahiro, and this has been the Gen Z Manifesto. See you next Tuesday, same time, same place. Good night.